Hello guys, welcome back to the second episode of the introduction to the vector in application. If you've not watched the previous video, I'll urge you to go and then watch so you can be able to get all what we have done. So we'll be continuing from there. So we ended at the test two. Today we are looking at the other parts, the other sections. Yes, so we come to this column now. So today we are looking at the various parts and this option, this section. So on on our far right, we have the color section where we have this one for the stroke and one for the body or the main object. So the first one being activated. Before you can use the color section, always take note. You need to select the particular object you want to change the color. So while I have selected my shape, then I select my color too, and then I choose any of the colors available in my color palette. Okay, that's wonderful. And then I try to edit or play with them small. Yeah. And then below also, if you have a color you want to pick out from or an image that contains the color you want to use, we have the color um, dropper, the color dropper to it will help you to pick out the color. And then we have next we have the color, and then we have the gradient option. So the gradient option is also available here. So if you want to use the gradient option, we have it here. And then another gradient option. So if you also want to use you don't want to use a palette and you want to use a wheel, so you just hit on the three dots we have provided here. So you hit on the three dots provided beside the HSV, and then you select your wheel. If you have a palette you want to use, if you know the hex code of the color you want to use, or you want to use an RGB, any of them, so this is the wheel that will help you to select that particular color you want to use. So this is the wheel that will help you select the color you want to use. Then next we have the stroke. So the stroke also, we are able to select your stroke color. So let's say I select a stroke color blue, and then I hit on the close. After I hit on the close, another stroke option comes down, the stroke width, the stroke dash, and then the stroke gap. So I want to increase the width of my stroke so you can now see the blue color I applied. Good. And then the stroke dash. So as you increase your stroke dash, realize that your stroke begins to have some dashes across it. I'm zooming so we can all witness it. Yeah, yeah. So as you can see, we have we have them right there. You see the dashes. Yeah. So from there we have the stroke gap. So the gap between this refers to the gap between the stroke. So you see, as I increase it, the stroke gap is increased. Yeah. And then so the kind of stroke you want, so you can choose from here whether you like a sharp one or like this. So any of them you want to choose for your work. Let's go back to the original and let's reduce our stroke down to 0. and then reduce our stroke dash to 7, and then reduce our stroke 8 to 4. Okay, so back. And then after we have right down to the stroke, we have the transform option, or you can edit that shape. So that's you want to change the width or the height, or look at the rotation, and then how rotating it in the x y axis, and then the visibility also. So all these are features in the transform option. Then from the transform option, we have the object. Now at the object option, you can either bring an object forward, backwards, flip it horizontally, flip it vertically. We can group them or we can subtract. So over here, let's say if I have two objects, let me just, I have this and this, the logo. So let me put, so I have my logo writing on the rectangle. So when I come to my object option, and then I hit on the first one is the object will be on top. So definitely I already have my logo is on top, but I've selected my rectangle. So when I select on top, the logo goes behind, the rectangle comes forward. And then when I select send backwards, realize that our rectangle goes backwards. And then the next one is if there are more than two shapes or more than two items in your document, and then you want to bring the selected item forward. Same applies to the one next to it. So same applies to this also. So if there are more than two items and you want to take one particular one backwards, far backwards, you use that. And then we have the flip, the flip where you flip the objects the opposite sides. That's horizontally. So for example, whilst my rectangle is selected, when I hit on the flip, it's being flipped. See, it's flipped horizontally. Flip in the X direction and then to the opposite side. And then we have flip in the Y direction. The Y direction. So as you hit on it, it's being flipped. Then we have the group. So the group normally we use it when you select more than one item, so two or more, and then you want to group them and make them as one. So if I want to select both the rectangle and our text, I just create a highlight over them, and then the two is selected. When I select or I choose my group, now the two now have become one item. So you see, as I move this, it's moved together. So I move my rectangle, the logo is also moved together with it because they have been grouped together. And then we have the next one which is on group. So on group now it's been separated. I have my logo separate, and then I have my rectangle to separate. So that is it for the on group. And then we have clip mask. So let's say I have my logo on this, and then I select my clip mask. When I select my clip mask, let me highlight both of them. And then I select my clip mask. So you see the logo has been clipped onto our rectangle. So remove clip mask. So it has been removed from our rectangle. Continuing, this is the alignment option. The alignment talks about positioning your object whether in the left or the right alignment or the center alignment or downwards or upwards. That is it for the alignment option. And then we have next to the below the alignment option, we have the boolean. The boolean is the option which gives you the chance to unite shapes, subtract, then exclude or intersect. So if I want to combine my logo and then my rectangle, I can simply select my unite. Now they become one. I've united the two of them. So I'm able to move both of them at the same time. It's just like multiple selection. You get it? But the moment is off. So let's say I select them and then I choose my unite. I've united them. The moment the selection is off, only one, they are separated again. Mm. So that is it for the unite. Then we have the subtract. So if I select both and then I choose my subtract option. I choose my subtract option. Realize that one will be subtracted from the other. So I get this. Good. So whilst do this again, and then let me create another shape so that we use that one. I've created another rectangle and delete my logo shape. Good. Now let me use now when I select my subtract, so you realize that if I subtract the rectangle, the black rectangle, the one in the black color has been subtracted from that of the one in the orange color, the green color. That is it for the subtraction. And then when I come to exclude, exclude also, so over here you realize that we've excluded the black from that of shape. And then we have intersect. So I select both shapes and then intersect. So intersect, looking at the meeting point of the shapes is what is going to be left out. So as where they meet. And then next to that we have the stroke. So when we select the shape, just like we looked at it up there, so we looked at the stroke, the options of the stroke, scaling stroke, the stroke to part. So you select stroke to part, it changes the stroke to a part, the stroke that you've made your part. We'll be diving more into the various in-depth features as the video goes along, and then in other videos as will be uploaded. So from the stroke we have the layer option. Now this app also works with layers. So over here we have layer 1. Now at the layer option you can lock a layer, you can hide a layer, you can add another layer by hitting on the plus. So we add, hit on the plus, Another layer is added. We select this plus. Yes, no shape here. Yeah. Let me do a shape. And then, oh, okay. So they all come. This two. Let me delete. So by hitting on the plus, you add layers to the object. And then we have the grid also below the layer option. So just as we saw. And then we have the document option also as we saw earlier. So these are the tools at the interface. Not forgetting the constraint. Now anytime you select a shape to draw and then you want the shape to have its sizes being equal and not whilst drawing not distorting. So you select or you make sure you turn on your constraint. It gives you a perfect shape. When the constraint is off, realize that we will draw, but it's going to have it's going to give us different shape. You get it? We're not going to get a precise shape. And when it is on, it gives you a precise shape. And then we also have the scale from center. The scale from center helps you to scale that object. For example, this circle we have over here. Let me select this circle. And then I want to scale it up. Let's say I select to draw a circle, and then I select scale from center constraint. It draws it from the center of that circle, and then it increases. But without the scale from center, it, it doesn't draw it exactly from the center. Although it will have all its sizes to be equal, making sure that it does not distort. But it doesn't scale from the center. But that of the scale from the center option helps you to scale the object from the center. Let me delete this. And then also this hand symbol here, this hand symbol, this this hand symbol here, it helps you to select multiple objects. So once it is activated, and then you will select it. So as you select, rather it's helping you to select more than one object. But when it is off, and then you want to select it's off, you are only able to select one at a time. But with the select multiple option on, you are able to select multiple at a time. And then this is also just like our scale from center. But with this option, it helps you to produce the shape always not the center is always at one place, it doesn't move. So it helps you to get the shape from its center. And then we have the copy option, the delete option. All these are used. So thank you very much and hope to see you in my next video.